Hi everyone, my name is Jim White. I'm not a medical doctor and I'm not selling anything, and this is not an infomercial. I just want to share with you some things that I have learned about weight loss and health. Since you clicked on this video, I assume that you are overweight and want to do something about it. My goal in making this video is to help you do just that, but in a scientific way that actually works. All the information that I am going to show you is backed up by material that you can view for yourself. Links to this information are provided in the description below. There is also a link to my previous video where I show you what I looked like when I was 50 pounds heavier. That's about 23 kilograms. I want to give you encouragement to reach your goal. It will take a little willpower, but I promise that you will not be hungry. I know that many of you will not believe this and will not even try. Exercise is not required either. I know you don't feel much like exercising when you're overweight. Exercise is good for you, but it helps very little in actually losing weight. As you lose weight, you will begin to want to exercise. I know this from my own experience. First, let's discuss the health problems that can result from not losing your excess weight. Here on the board are some numbers from the U.S. National Diabetes Statistics Report from the year of 2020. And you can see that 88 million people, or 34% of all adults, are in a state of what's called prediabetes. Now, your hemoglobin A1C for normal people is between 5.3 and 5.6. As that inches up and you become pre-diabetic, your A1C would be in the range of 5.7 to 6.3. And when it goes above 6.3, you're then considered a full-blown diabetic. Now, a lot of people, about 7.3 million in the U.S., go undiagnosed for diabetes. When I started my low-carb diet, my A1C was 6.0, so I was in the pre-diabetes range here. And after 6 months, that had gone down to 5.3. So I went down to the bottom end of normal in 6 months of a low-carb diet. So even if I would have been up here above 6.4 with diabetes, the A1C could have dropped down into the pre-diabetes range and then even gone further into the normal range. So diabetes can be reversed with a low-carb diet. I should say some diabetes. Perhaps there's some cases that cannot, but it certainly is possible for many people. Missing from the report are statistics on those of 18 years of age and below. And childhood diabetes is becoming a rapidly increasing problem in the U.S. So if you care about children, you should also learn about the things that are being discussed here and in the videos that are linked below. Here's a list of some of the problems that are attributed to diabetes. Some of these result from a high level of sugar circulating in the blood, and some are caused by a high level of insulin in the blood. The insulin is chasing the sugar. So your body secretes more insulin to try and get rid of the excess sugar, as long as the pancreas doesn't give out and lose its ability to make insulin. So some of the things that happen are heart attacks and strokes, peripheral artery disease, blindness. Diabetes is the leading cause of blindness, and other eye problems such as cataracts, glaucoma, and macular degeneration. There's also kidney disease. Some people have to go on dialysis as their kidneys are destroyed by diabetes. There's neuropathy, which is nerve damage. Even high blood pressure and erectile dysfunction are related to this condition. There's also correlation with cancer, arthritis, sleep apnea, and dementia. And recently we've learned there's an increased risk of death from COVID-19 if you are overweight or have diabetes. Then there's nasty little things like non-healing wounds, ulcers, and infections, and gangrene. There's more: fibromyalgia, gout. It seems like almost all the major illnesses of mankind stem from this situation here. This sketch represents the capillaries in the blood flow system in the body. And the typical diameter of a capillary is 5 to 10 microns, and a micron is 0.001 millimeters, or a millionth of a meter. Now, red blood cells have to pass through our capillaries, and red blood cells have a diameter in the range of 7.5 to 8.7 microns. And the red blood cell is actually a disc, and it's about 2 microns thick. So how would a 8.7 micron red blood cell get through a 5 micron capillary? Well, normally they're soft and deformable, so they can squish down as they are forced by blood pressure through the capillary. So you're probably familiar with the A1C blood test to measure how much sugar is in your blood. Well, it turns out that the red blood cells absorb sugar, and they get stiffer. So as your A1C goes up, your red blood cells are stiffer, and eventually some of them can't get through the smaller capillaries. Well, when that happens, you get a clog in here, and the red blood cell can no longer deliver oxygen to the capillary, and the flesh in this area dies, and you may get gangrene. So this is the reason you'll hear about diabetics that have to have toes and feet amputated. I had a friend that every year or so he would mention that he had another toe amputated, and he eventually died of a heart attack. So the stiffening of the red blood cell causes serious problems in the body. This also goes on in the eye, and there's some very tiny capillaries in the nerves of the retina, so your retina can clog up and slowly die, and that's the cause of blindness from diabetes. There's approximately 1 gram of sugar circulating in your blood at any one time. That's about 1 teaspoon worth of sugar. Now, if you ingest too much sugar, your liver can store up to 100 grams, and up to 400 grams can be stored in your muscles. Now, your body can make all the sugar it needs. If you never had another grain of sugar in your life, your body will make the sugar that it needs. A lot of people don't realize it, but the same is true of cholesterol. Through my studies of diet, I've learned that eating cholesterol has very little to do with the amount that's in your body. And I've also learned that I can quit taking the statin that I was on. I've taken Lipitor for over 20 years. That's about $5 per pill. If you do the math, that comes out to over $36,000 that Medicare and insurance companies have paid for over those years. So you times that times millions of people, and you can see why a industry might want to perpetrate myths about cholesterol. But I plan to make another video about that in the near future. So there's many types of sugar. There's sucrose, glucose, lactose. So I just use sugar in a generic way. There's different types of sugars used in different ways within the body. Once your liver and muscles have stored all the excess sugar that you're getting from sugar and carbs. Carbs are nothing but sugar molecules linked together. Your body will start turning sugar into fat and putting it into your fat cells. So when you eat fewer calories, your body will start burning these stored sugars, and it's not till they are gone that it'll start to burn fat. So in order to lose weight, first you got to burn up all this excess sugar that's stored away, and then your body will be able to burn fat. Now it's kind of hard to give up sugar and carbs initially, because they are physically addictive. There's some videos linked below in the description that go into the actual physical addiction of sugar and carbs. But once you start burning fat, your cravings for sugar and carbs will start to disappear. And then it becomes a mental thing. You have to get out of the habit that you've been in of snacking and eating sugar and carbs in all their various forms. It takes about a week to 10 days to burn up this excess sugar and start burning fat. And when you burn fat, there's some chemicals that your body manufactures that are called ketones. And that's where the word ketogenesis and the keto diet comes from the word ketones. And your body can use ketones just like sugar to provide energy to your muscles and to your brain. And many believe ketones work better in the brain than sugar. Now, when you go to the grocery store and see an obviously overweight person pushing a cart, take a look at what's in their cart. Often you'll see a lot of sugary drinks, soft drinks and fruit juices, things like that. You'll see snack items, potato chips and crackers, all this kind of stuff. You'll see donuts and cakes and pies and pizza, frozen pizza. And that's what's harming that individual. It makes me sad when I see this. I wish there was some way that I could tell that person what I've learned about the low carb way of eating. Now the food industry has produced a lot of advertising to sway your opinion about what to eat. There's been massive campaigns to convince you that using whole grain items are good for you, and that saturated fat foods are bad for you. And recent research has shown just the opposite is true. Whether it's whole grain or not, carbs are carbs, and carbs are not good for you. You've probably heard that eggs are bad for you, partially due to cholesterol. And nothing could be further from the truth. Eggs are one of the best things you can possibly eat. Think about it for a minute. An egg contains everything necessary to produce a chicken. And chickens are made up of brains and eyes and skeletons and blood and heart and other organs similar to our own. So the egg is a perfect food, and it's incredibly inexpensive compared to other food items. Now, if you find it hard to believe the things that I've told you here, below in the videos that I've provided links to, you'll find actual medical doctors talking about the same things. And what I've tried to do is simplify it and make it understandable. Sometimes the doctors tend to contradict each other a little bit and use terms that you may not be familiar with. But it's worth your time to watch all the videos that I've linked below. It would take several hours to watch them all, but it could have great benefits for your health and your future. Now, there's a lot of videos on YouTube about the keto diet, and my advice is to just go cold turkey. Just do it. Give up sugar and carbs totally. You'll get some carbs through the vegetables you eat, but your body does not need carbs at all. There's no minimum daily requirement for carbs. So just give it up. You'll also see lots of cooking shows on YouTube, cooking so-called keto items, desserts and pizza and bread, and they really aren't the same. I've tried them out of curiosity. They don't feel the same in your mouth. They don't taste the same. They don't satisfy you. And all they do is perpetuate your habit of wanting to eat those foods. So I say don't experiment with the similar food stuff. Keto pizza, it just isn't going to work. It's not going to remove your craving for pizza totally if you keep stimulating yourself with something similar to pizza. Now, you'll find once you get into ketosis, your cravings will go away, and any urge to eat foods is more from habits, and eating between meals and that kind of thing are habits. So it's a mental issue at that point, not a physical addiction issue. So you have to use your head and eat properly, and I promise you won't be hungry. Now, if you know someone that might be helped by this kind of information, please share my video and possibly some of the other videos that are linked below, particularly the videos about addiction to carbs. A lot of people aren't aware they are physically addicted to carbohydrates. Now, if you choose to go on a keto type diet, please share your results in the comments below. Help to encourage other people by showing that it can be done. You can lose weight. You can reverse prediabetes. In many cases, you can reverse actual diabetes. So give it a try. If you got something out of this video, give me a thumbs up, a like, and possibly subscribe for future videos, particularly the one on cholesterol. So best regards to all.